Today I will be talking about How the Grinch Stole Christmas, starring Jim Carrey, released 2000. I don't know what the dealio is, but a lot of people hate this movie and think it is an abomination against cinema, which I think is a very huge over-exaggeration. Don't get it twisted, I don't think this movie is very good, but calling it like the worst movie ever made is kind of a huge exaggeration, because there are some good things about this movie, even though they're a bit few and far in between. There are some good things that I shall talk about now. The makeup for the Grinch in this movie is surprisingly good. It gives Jim Carrey a lot of free reign to do whatever he wants and move his face around in whatever way he wants to. A lot of people do not like Jim Carrey in this movie and think that he's way too over the top. Personally, I don't really like Jim Carrey that much, but this movie doesn't really bother me as much as like other Jim Carrey movies where I think he's just kind of like a scene stealer. I think he's fine in this movie. It's a little annoying. He's not horrible though. If you're not aware what The Grinch Stole Christmas is about, it's a reimagining of the classic Dr. Seuss story of the Grinch, a character who absolutely hates Christmas, but by the end has a change of heart. To be honest, when I saw this movie for the first time, it terrified me because the Grinch is kind of scary in this movie. Then again, I was like 4. So, of all the movies that were adapted from Dr. Seuss stories, I don't think this is the worst of them. I'm not saying it's one of the best either. In my opinion, probably like Horton Hears a Who is probably the best one. I wouldn't say this is the worst though. It's kind of bad at times. The script is kind of like repetitive. Jim Carrey's annoying at times. And the makeup is pretty good. But the makeup on the Who people who live in the town of Whoville is truly horrifying, even now. I don't know, overall I kind of like this movie because it's super over the top and zany, which some people don't like, but me personally, I wasn't like offended by it. Like, I didn't see this movie being like, oh, this is sacrilegious to Dr. Seuss. Like, it's fine, it's not horrible. And Jim Carrey's alright, but sometimes he can be just way too annoying. And the makeup by Rick Baker on the Grinch is really good. But overall, it's okay. Watch it if you want. I'm gonna give the Grinch, How the Grinch Stole Christmas a C-.